This is the video for trail and real time for the change picture game. We're going to start by clicking on trail in the red stripe. Here are the first 9 instructions executed by the program. Here we see P0, we're in the main program. Next we see the line number we're at in the main program. Here we see it did line number 0, 1, and 2, and here at this branch it went to AC, so it went from line 2 to line 14. Go to AC, here's AC. Then it says add 1 to task, and the 15, 16, at 16 it says branch if task is greater than the wait ticks, go to AE. Here we see it went to AE, so it went from 16 to line 20. Then it says go to B, which is going to be a return address, to go to BA. So here we see it went to BA. Now it jumped all the way from line 20 to 65 where BA is. Now we're going to advance another 9 lines. Here we see it making this box over here, setting up the font for text. Let's see if it does the text next. Yep. Then it put the text there, and then it checks to see, did somebody click on it? Click on 7. If not, go to BC, and there it says return on B, and which we know it did because here it's at line 21. The branch to this subroutine was at line 20. Then it does line 22 after it checks to see that this was not a 1. And then it says go to subprogram 1, tab number 2. And sure enough, here we see the next thing it is. It's in subprogram 1 at tab 2. Here it's setting up O, which is our image number, to 1. I'm going to advance it 9 more. I think it's going to do a put. Ah, yes it did. It set up the dimensions for it and did a put of image number 1, and here's image number 1. Well, we're going to advance 9 more. Alright, we advanced 9 more, and here we see O was set to 2, and it put the other picture over here. Then it starts to define the line that it's going to draw in the center here. We'll advance 9 more. And sure enough, here it did the line creation of the dots, color black, and drew the line, and then went back to the main program. So here we see it back at the main program at line 23, but line 23 says I want to call subprogram 1 and go to tab 3. Sure enough, the very next line, which is subprogram 1, line 118, is where tab 3 starts. We'll advance another 9 lines. Well, it says branch if not equal to 1, go to DE, and it went to DE right away. That's because we didn't tell it to show the answer, so it simply says I'm going to go home, back to the main program. Well, now we're back at the main program, line 24. It's setting up a font, a color, an XY position, and putting the text game number on the screen, and here we see it. And then it said it's going to add 20 to the X value. That's going to put me here, and it's going to box the N. This is where it boxed the game number, so you could put another game number in there. We'll advance 9 more. Well, now it sets up some X and Y values. A color of dark blue makes a rectangle. There it is. And then it says box this rectangle and call it click number 6. Well, then it adds something there, and now we'll go here and here. It checks to see did somebody click on it. And it said no because it went to AK. There was no click on 6. Well, when it gets to AK, it calls 104, which is subprogram 1, tab number 4, and sure enough, the next thing we see, it's in subprogram 1 at tab 4. It's going to make the answer trees clickable and check for their clicks. Well, let's go 9 more. And what we're going to see, it's going to go around to check for each one of the clicks. So I'm just going to keep clicking on 9 here and go 9 more until we see it's finished. Alright, now it finished. Didn't find any clicks. Here it's at EE, went back home. When it went home, it went to line 47, and again it calls, and this time 105, which is subprogram 1, tab 5. And sure enough, what does the next line say? We're in subprogram 1, tab 5. It's going to show the yellow circles on the top of the found trees. Well, we didn't find any trees. So we're going to go over here and click on 9. And what we see is it's going around this loop really quickly because it keeps checking for a found tree and it keeps saying no, it wasn't found, and going to the end of the loop and going around again. It's going to do that for all 6. And once it got done with all 6 of them, it says I'm going home. And now it's at line 48 of the main program. Here it says, are all 6 of the found values equal to 1? If they are, go to AM. Well, we haven't found any of them, so it didn't go to AM. And the next line says it exited. Well, we're going to end the trail for now. Now, let's suppose that we would like to change this blue box where it says toggle the answer on and off. Well, we don't know where in the program that blue box is. So we know how to run the trail, so we're going to click on trail. And we're going to go 90 instructions. We didn't find a blue box. Click another 90. Up, there we passed the blue box. But now we know it's at least 90 in, so we'll turn the trail off and then back on again. We know we can jump 90. Then we'll jump just 9. And 9 more, and 9 more, and 9. There it is. There's the blue box. Well, now, if we wanted to go to the program and change the blue box, we can just click on one of these lines, and I'm going to click on the top one here where it's set in the exposition of the blue box. I'm going to click there. Now that I click there, when I go to the program, that's where it's going to go. I'll show you. I'll undo the trail. I'm going to click on the program, and here's that exact line that I clicked on, where it was setting XM to 218. And here's where it's making the blue color for the box, and there it makes the box. There it makes it clickable. And then it puts this text in the box. So now what I could do is I could click here and change these the way you normally change an instruction, or by highlighting this one, I could now go back to the program and click on RT for real time. And here we're at that position, because it will always go to the last highlighted yellow line. That is, RT will. And here it did. So now I can go and change these values in RT. For instance, here's the exposition for it. If I made that 300, it moved over there. I'm going to go back to 200. Here's the Y value, which is 5. If I change that, it's going to move down. If I change it to 15, I'll change it back to 5. We have how tall it is. It's 20 tall. If I made it 30 tall, it would be down there. We get back to 20 again. So with RT, I can start changing all these things. And what's nice about that is when you're doing the programming, you don't want to have to stop and position that thing exactly where it needs to be. You can go to RT and then say, all right, now I'm going to try this and that. You could try different fonts with different size boxes, position it left and right, up and down, wherever you want it to be. So you don't have to know these exact positions when you're programming. I'm going to turn off RT, and I want to show you we could have done it the other way. We went onto the trail, we advanced 90, then we advanced 9, until we saw it right there, it wrote the blue box. Now right at this point, I could just right away go off the trail, go to RT, and I would be there. If you click on that line, RT knows it, and it's going to go right to that position. So I didn't have to ever go to the program. I just wanted to show you that you could go to the program and you would be there. You also are there if you go to RT. You may want to go to a particular place in the program and then check the values in data. Well, what you can do is, again, we're going to go onto the trail, but we put a halt in the program at a place where we wanted it to stop at. In other words, we're not going to advance 990 or 900. We're just going to click on the word advance, and it will go to the first halt it finds. I clicked on advance. Here we see it says halt, and it stopped after the first put, because here I see it setting the image number to 1, and here it's putting it on the screen. So I ask it to halt there. Notice it hasn't yet put the other one there. As soon as I let it go, it will. But at this point, if I wanted to check the data, I could click on data and see what the values of the different things are. So what this is nice for is to find out, where did something go wrong? Is one of these values not right? Or could I go to a work list and say one of these values isn't right? You can use your halt to get it to stop where you want it to. You don't have to keep stepping through it so many instructions at a time until you find it. You can put something in there. Turn the data off. I'm going to turn the trail off. This is the end of the video on trail and RT for the change picture game.